Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another series of the West Chamber Pop-Up. Today is Monday morning, and I am sitting here with Don Gleason.
Good morning.
Good morning, with Achieve New Heights. He is our guest for today. We are also here at Infusa Cafe, which is 8023 Vantage Drive. It is in the bottom floor, so you'll have to go downstairs. It is an amazing cafe, and I know the owner here. They have done a fantastic job of not only this cafe, but have opened several others. If you're looking for great food and being healthy, also, we're always trying to find new ways to be healthy. This is definitely the place to go. So you want to make sure you come into Infusa Cafe. It's easy to get to. There's great visitor parking in the parking garage, so you can literally just drive in and drive out extremely quick. The service is great. The customer service, you'll love it. So stop in by all means. So Don,
and if I can say, the Mexican hot chocolate is fantastic.
Oh, really?
I got to taste it this morning.
Oh, that's
Very
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to wait until afterwards,
Okay.
because I know that Xavier makes a mad smoothie. So I'm just going to wait till after we finish here. So anyway, Don, thank you again for joining us.
Well, thank you.
So you have had several different classes, or we've partnered to host several classes together for the West San Antonio Chamber. And I thank you for that. I feel like a lot of our members have gotten a lot out of that. And we have seen business owners come in, we've seen individuals, we've seen veterans, and they seem to have a lot of positive feedback. Most of them don't realize that they can have a personal coach.
Oh, okay.
And I think for many years, I felt the same way. That's for executives. You're making six figures. So please tell us a little bit about yourself and your techniques.
Okay. So it's been really good. 27 years in the Air Force, 9 years management consulting. What I really noticed a lot was leadership didn't always invest in their people, didn't really talk about the value and the respect. It was always just, here's the task, get it done, this is when I need it done by, and we don't invest in them to help them grow. And as I learned more and more through the John Maxwell team and through others, find out that we all have in our subconscious mind, we have limiting beliefs, we have different values, things that we were taught early in life. It may have just been something we picked up. You know, you hear, I listen a lot to Dave Ramsey, and they say more is caught than taught. So things that we've got in our mind, and it holds us back from doing different things. Similar in my management consulting business, I asked if I could have a coach, and I kind of got the answer, well, you're not at that level.
Yes.
But it's interesting that almost every leader who's really moving forward from the lower levels, going mid-level to senior level, has a coach. And a coach is nothing more than somebody who can help them think into their situation. Too often we have things that are holding us back, fears. Sometimes it's the idea of like a salesman.
Yes.
People have an idea that salesmen are slippery and slimy, and really all it is sales is, I'm bringing a product, they're looking for the product, we meet at a fair price. So it's a win-win.
Agreed.
But we don't always look at it that way because we were taught like car salesmen. You know, they're slippery and slimy.
Yes.
And they're not. I mean, they're trying to give you a good value as well. So what we do is we sit down and be able to ask open-ended questions, really help dig into somebody, ask questions that they can't ask themselves. I've had a coach now for almost 2 years myself, and it's interesting. Well, I've come in having thought through a problem, and she'll immediately ask me a question that takes me deeper than I had even imagined. And it gets to the heart of the matter. And I notice as I'm coaching people, I'm able to do that same thing.
And this is a really good thing for people, because they're able to discover their strengths and their weaknesses and be able to work on that. And this way, I think that you can hire staff to help support those weaknesses.
That's right.
And then as you're developing, and moving forward, and then on the strengths, you can really take your business to a new level, or maybe just take yourself to a new level. Now, I'd like to have your opinion on something.
Sure.
So in my time in leadership, what I've noticed is it's not necessarily those that are the really high achievers that always need the coaching. It's those that are in the middle, and the ones that we talk about, well, if only Sarah had done this, I may have promoted her. And only if, John had done that, or if he were helping himself in some other way, then maybe he'd be ready for leadership. Those people that we mentioned that are on our staff and those low performing people, I feel like they're the ones that really need to receive that coaching. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, I would like to say two things about that. One thing that really excites me about leadership is leaders spending time with their people, getting to know their people, investing in their people. So when you have somebody who's at the lower level or mid-level, it's not always hey, they're not performing, cast them aside. It's sitting down and having a conversation. Get to know them. What's happening? There may be something going on in their life. They may not understand the job. They maybe don't have the right tools. There's all kinds of pieces. So right now, I just took over chairman of the board for the Red Cross in San Antonio.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And one thing I'm really excited about is looking at, have we clearly articulated the role, and have we clearly resourced all the individuals? It's a fundraising board.
Yes.
So I'm working right now, and I've only been there about 3 weeks. In that position, though I've been on the board for 7 years, is how do I really make sure they've got the right resources?
Yes.
So you bring that back to any company. How do we make sure that people really know what we're expecting?
Yes.
We get agreement on that performance, and we resource them. But at the same time, because some of those people, they don't know how to think outside the box. They've been taught one way or the other. So maybe a perfect example is email. It just popped in my head.
Yes.
I got taught in the Air Force, you need to go through all your email every day.
Right.
And that's a neat thing.
Yes.
But it becomes a self-licking ice cream cone.
Absolutely.
That day, you spend so much time on that that you're not getting really what you're supposed to get done.
Exactly.
So depending what the boss told them, it may drive certain behaviors. So we need to sit back and think about what behaviors are they really expected to do? What's the job we really hired them to do? And how do we make that happen?
Yes.
I spend a lot of time, especially last week, talking to people about priority management. What are their true priorities? Are they reflected in their schedule? And how do we mesh those two so that you're getting the right things done?
Now, a lot of us like me say, well, my schedule is jam-packed. Sometimes I can't get those priorities in there, even though I know that I should. And for us as a chamber, fundraising is top priority, but it ends up going to the bottom of the list because there's so many committees, so many appointments, there's members to visit, and what have you. So I think that's where your skills really come in handy to remind me, hey, we need to refocus.
Right.
So I do love that.
Another client I was working with last week, it was, here's your priorities. Which of those can you delegate to somebody else? So we take on a lot of stuff that we don't have to be working on, and we want to give challenges to our people and help them grow. But we tend to keep it on ourselves because I can get it done quicker. But you can only do it better the first time. After you've done it about the 5th or 100th time, and you train somebody, they might be able to do it better than you.
That's right.
And then think about what you can do, the opportunity cost of you doing that versus the opportunity benefit of me now doing something different. So there's delegate, and then there's delete. Kind of like the email.
Oh, that's tough.
I have gotten rid of a lot of podcasts, a lot of subscription emails. When I was doing things with social media, if I see things that are distracting me, I'll delete those people because it's getting into my head, and I don't want that negative energy.
And there's a lot of people that just say, well, I'm completely off of social media, because of that. But there is a kind of a measured approach that you can take to social media, where it's positive. You can still keep your network, but stay away from all that other stuff.
That's right.
Well, I think we need to practice that with the kids.
Yeah, and I have to touch, Matt Shear Communications, and we're doing some things together with West Chamber.
Absolutely.
So Matt is a LinkedIn expert, and he really knows how to set up a profile, how to connect with people and have that conversation. As I now bring in communication strategies, which was our last workshop, using the DISC personality assessment, how can we communicate with people over LinkedIn to help that communication work better? And so Matt's really got a lot of stuff that we can use and help people manage social media.
He has a lot of insight on LinkedIn, and I think I've said it in many of our classes. I was very, very surprised how effective. I think I joked with him and said, how does this old guy know exactly what's happening on LinkedIn and how to capture that audience? But he really did. The tweaks that he made such a difference. And we have to remember, LinkedIn is our professional network. It is not to post your dog's picture. It is not to post a picture of your kids. It is about connecting professionally, business to business. Maybe we're selling a product, maybe we're doing, and no hard sales type of thing.
Yep.
But it is about that networking that we can do through LinkedIn.
That's right.
Matt also helped me see that I can connect with someone in another state or another city, and it is okay within certain boundaries. But he went through a little checklist and made me feel better about that.
Yeah, and we do a lot of talking about how do you accept somebody. Because what's hard is when all of a sudden you get a connection request with no message. You have no idea why they want to connect with you. But if you can turn that around and put a short note. I was connecting with somebody this weekend. So I started, through another gentleman, a 30-day LinkedIn social media posting. Had to be a picture or a video every day for 30 days.
Yes.
So we've been growing our network. So several people have been added, but I wasn't connected to them. So I sent them a quick note. Hey, you and I are in the same 30-day challenge. Would love to connect so that we can share posts and talk about it. Talk about things. So very quick, he can quickly then say, oh yeah, you're in that. Boom. Otherwise, he's looking at Don Gleason.
Yeah, who are you?
Who is this guy? So
no, it makes a big difference.
It's all about communication.
Absolutely.
And that's where I come from leadership in organizations. It's about communication. How many times does a boss not walk down to somebody and talk and see what's going on? Right. I remember a situation at the last job. Try to do this real quick. A gentleman had a young 3-year-old. His wife just had twins. We were hitting a hot part of the project. I needed him both to be focused, but I needed him to be present at home. So I went down to his office and I just sat down and said, sir, I won't use the name. How can we make the two of these mesh? I want you to be successful at home.
Yes.
I want you to be successful here. In fact, I left that job and he took over for me. That's how good he was.
Wow.
And but we had a conversation, and some people looked at me and said, "You had that conversation?" I said, yeah.
That's okay.
Just open up and just figure out. I'm trying not to pry, but if there's something I need to know to make sure that I'm fitting the job responsibilities with his personal responsibilities, so he can be successful. And if there's something he can't do, I can get somebody else there. Right. If there's something else he can do that I wasn't even thinking about, I can work it that way.
So tell me, and your coaching also works, let's say if you take a person that's in middle management or maybe not even in management and they need help relating to their coworkers or talking to their boss, you can help them in that manner too, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we have a number of tools that we can use. The DISC personality assessment is one. We have we call it the John Maxwell Leadership Game, but it's an assessment tool that you play like a game that puts people in a competitive environment, and you start seeing their natural way they interact. Teamwork, communication, opinions. Had somebody in a recent game, I hate to use the word game, but it's because it's an assessment tool, but as we were playing, their opinion came out about how they treat certain people. And I was able as a facilitator to grab some different ideas from the room and give her some ideas. So it was like, oh, well maybe it's not just this way. Maybe I can change.
Yes.
And we've sat down with her since and worked her advantage forward.
That's wonderful.
She's moving into a leadership role because she now knows how to work with that class of people.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's really just about focusing. I mean, the training, the coaching is really about helping people focus in on where they want to go. Kind of what's their mission, what's their purpose, what things are holding them back, how can we resource them to go forward.
Yes, and we have to remind everybody, this is for anyone at any level of your career. Maybe you just graduated from high school, maybe you just graduated from a university and you're getting into a new job. It doesn't matter. Or maybe you're already in management. It's important that you develop yourself each and every day for the challenges to make yourself a better person, a better employee.
Yeah. Through our DISC personality assessments, we can do it for communication, how to communicate with people, sales, what's your natural selling style and how you like to sell and be sold to.
Yes.
We also have now a college and career impact report for those that are just coming out of high school or college. They learn their not only their personality, they learn their learning style, and a couple other things. And it really helps them understand who they are as they get into their first job.
That's so amazing.
I would like to say I knew that. I fumbled through it for 36 years. 2 years ago when I really got into this and my coach and I were working on it, I had come off a project and the way that people were acting was not the way I would act.
Yes.
And I was very frustrated. And as soon as I understood why I was acting the way I was and why they were acting the way they were, that stress just went away, for the most part.
Yes.
And I understood it, and now I communicate in the right style
That's
and
so
open
much
up
better.
communication. And if young people had those tools, think how much more successful we could be.
Absolutely, that communication is key. And that also reminds me, military. Those
Yes.
in the military, those transitioning out of the military, they can absolutely benefit from this. And if they just want to try this out, that's why the West Chamber offers these classes for self-development. We bring you in, and you understand the language that they speak, being in the military yourself, and being able to connect them to the rest of the population. I think sometimes they believe, well, I know how to function around people, but some of the words that are used are very different, and some of the management styles, the words, it's everything, even schedules.
That's right.
They don't always mesh when you're just coming out of the military and now you're coming into the business community.
That's right.
So I know you can help with that too.
Yeah. If I can use a law, the number one law in John's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is the law of the lid. And he always talks about we all have a lid in any area of our life, but particularly as they come out of the service and they start moving forward,
Yes.
they have a lid, and it's based upon their experience and their knowledge. And we haven't had through the military, I was 27 years Air Force, they haven't had to be concerned about their next job. They haven't had to be concerned about all kinds of different
Right.
things about how they did certain things. Even the schedule was almost given to them of, this is when we have meetings, this is when you have to do things.
Yes.
So they haven't learned the priority management as much as somebody on the outside.
Right.
So they have a low lid. So how can we help them raise their lid?
That's right.
It's just some of those different tools.
Yeah. That's
Priority
amazing.
management, we already talked about. How to deal with people, how to show respect. That's why I just love John's books. 37 years of my experience having gone through it, combined with John's material.
Yes.
Wow, I am so excited. I was thinking about retiring a couple years ago. I'll be 60 this week.
Oh my
And
gosh.
now I'm so excited just to keep adding into people and,
Right.
and helping people
Yeah,
move
because you're
forward.
opening people's minds
Yeah.
with all this. And I know there's other tools that we've used, so I don't want you to think it's just one thing, one size fits all. We
No.
have a variety of things that we can offer. And we're going to continue to offer those classes through the West Chamber.
I'm excited.
And if you really want to take this on, then you can hire Don individually.
Yeah.
And don't think that it's some big immense cost, because it's not. It's very, very reasonable. It's doable.
The value you're going to get so far outweighs anything you're going to pay. It will really evolve. We had one of my counterparts in town was working with a car dealership, I think it was, an insurance salesman. And in 6 months, look at that last year's revenue, and then he's hired this gentleman. Within 6 months, he surpassed the whole previous year's revenue.
Wow.
So for the cost that he's working through with the coaching, he's doubled his revenue and probably will double again.
Unbelievable.
I talked to somebody in Oklahoma, they double their revenue every year
Yeah.
for now 5 or 6 years. So there's a huge benefit when you start working with people and trusting people and training people and opening the communication. People, we say, I love the dichotomy that says every company values people, but most people leave a company because they don't feel valued.
Exactly.
So somewhere we're not doing that connection, and I don't want to solve that problem. I want people to connect. And John has a great book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And how do we open up a real connection between leaders and peers, peers to peers, peers to subordinates? How do
Yes.
we open that communication?
We need that.
Yeah. So
Well-
I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. I really appreciate your time. And just like that, 15 minutes has flown by.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But anyone that's interested, they can contact you on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
So we have that. You can reach out to the West Chamber, and we'll provide Don's contact information also, his email and his phone number, so you can reach him, have a little conversation.
Yeah. Conversations are free. It's just a discovery meeting to see how I can help, if I can help.
Yes,
I may not be the right person to help, but I want to give you an honest
absolutely.
evaluation.
No, and that's why, and because of that reason, that's why we have several coaches that help the West Chamber. Don is one of them. And that way you feel comfortable connecting with someone to help that self-development piece. So anyway, thank you, Don.
Thank you very
We will
much.
see you at our next class, which is
Yeah.
coming up very soon. So don't forget, everyone, thank you for joining us again for the West Chamber Pop-Up. This week we have a lot of activities. We have Azteca Designs is having a revival on Wednesday afternoon in Somerset, Texas. So we hope that you will join us there. It's really only a quick 45-minute drive out to Somerset. They will have food and refreshments, and it'll be a very enlightening conversation so we can learn more about Azteca Designs and their work. The other thing is, let's see, what else? Oh, so we have State of Water. My goodness. So on Friday, we have State of Water as our luncheon. And we have 3 CEOs from Sarah, from Edwards Aquifer, and from Saws. So it is going to be an unbelievable conversation on water. Water is one of the most important things. So we say water is life, and it's really more important than you can imagine. So please join us. Tickets are still on sale for that. If you belong to, if you are a veteran, belong to a nonprofit or other type organization, please give us a call. We do have discounted tickets available for you. So for more information, just log on to our website or give us a call at 210-229-1266, and we're happy to help you. Thank you. The West Chamber thanks you, and we'll see you next time.